I love how many casters we got over in team 2, by the way. We got us this Bone Breaker as the only melee, which I feel like it's a long while since we've seen something like this. We got us a Seabark over on that team as a Arcane Mage, Lath Evoker on the Evoker. We got us not even good X as a Warlock, as well as Yeastlock on that Yeastlock with Blood Neko over on the Retribution Paladin. Okay, chat, am I the only one who's like looks at that helmet or the Paladin and I'm like, I don't know if I like it that much. It feels like it's too stretched forwards. Or downwards, rather. We got Chupos over on the Frost DK. We got us a Leroy and the Demon Hunter together with PvP, as well as Var. Gonna be first up as a Beast Mastery Hunter versus Bone Breaker, the Arms Warrior. I love the fact that this man just continues to stay on that arms gameplay, man, on that arms grind, getting hit with a stud with a binding shot. Gonna be Var, back it up out of there immediately, trying to see if maybe get a setup versus break, but Breaker's not gonna let him go in with a spear. Check us out of this one, potentially trying to go for big damage, got him some big parry. Var going in for massive healing. I don't even know what healed him. The man didn't even have an acceleration bird, so I don't even know what got him back up and topped off. Must be like a pet ability or something, maybe Battle Master Chicken, like 2. Got himself survival of the fittest, trying to see if he can survive past the burst of a warrior, where he got himself reflecting cases of freezing trap waiting for him. Is going to pull the pet back for a pet stack for a second, got himself rooted in that tar trap. This is where Bone needs something in order to reconnect with Varg. Got a Stormbolt on him, man, got nothing to really help him survive until the turtle shell. I thought honestly Bonebreaker with that much rage was going to be able to maybe land himself a fatty execute. But maybe he just had to wait a little bit longer. Got himself back up next to Varg. Oh, big execute as he breaks through the binding shot. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, that execute. It's so nutty, and Bonebreaker, I think, just wait until the dots are off him so he can potentially give himself full recovery with that second wind. Chupa's trying to see if he can deny him the second wind gameplay. Dropping it on Death and Decay, making it hard for Bonebreaker to recover much. He got about 30 seconds left on a parry, so I don't really know if he can do much. He's gonna have to play very, very defensive. Utilize a stun, as well as maybe a disarm, and maybe a fear, in order to stay away from Chills. As Chills goes to the gap, gonna be IBF immediately before that stun with a reflect out for Bonebreaker. He's trying to see if he can Bladestorm away from Chills. Chills not letting him go anywhere at all, with Bonebreaker bailing out of there, massive grip and taking him out before the boy can get defenses back. Chills just doesn't even give him a chance whatsoever. With Seavark, I think it's gonna be nice. Looks like it is Seavark. Chupas hopefully is aware that he got a mage that's invisible, so you should be aware that, okay, this is gonna be a setup by Seavark. Big Arcane Surge from a distance. Got himself max range. It's going to be potentially AMS, but Chills trying to see if he can blast out through the DK. And he's got himself the Arcane Blast with a big barrage, trying to see if he can crack the defenses, actually just obliterate that whole anti-magic shell. But Chilpas is using the big damage on a Seabark in order to catch some healing. The harder death that gets hit, the more healing a Death Check is going to do. Got himself big blinks with Alter Time, actually just able to get away from Chills. Actually was able to even juke out and interrupt. To see if I got himself some freedom in order to get some cast, establish some CC, got himself fatty evocation at the ready, so most like got himself some big damage on the come up. Chilpas with an IBF, maybe in a bit of a tight spot. AMZ down. This way, Seavark gets to break away from Chilpas, not give him a Death Strike. Does go for a root. Potentially could be a grip or actually going to be a Wraithwalk instead. Seavark trying to see if he can just capture Chilpas in the Ring of Frost. Unable to. Still goes for a knockback anyway. Got himself there all the time, so should be able to recover back to full health. Chilpas trying to see if he can fight through the damage. Able to get himself back-to-back Death Strikes. Seavark just feeling super confident here, but the AMS comes back in the last second as Chilpas falls into that execute range. He knows this is going to be the Void Elf Racial, probably going to pull him out in the open. I think actually Seavark tried to use the Void Elf Racial and it just didn't move him. Maybe he got too far away from it. Let's see if I used all the time, but decided to cancel it. Got himself big missiles to Chilpas with a touch of the magic. Oh my god, wait, no! He does get him with a quick barrage and chases behind the pillar. As soon as you walk away from the pillar for too long and you let the touch of the magic and missile just kind of stack up on you, I think at some point it just becomes a little much. With Seavark trying to see if he can just riddle PvP full of missiles as best as possible. Hit him with a Nova. It's going to be a barrage to follow. The Demon Hunter is turning attention onto the pet, onto the demonic companion in order to try to catch back up to Seavark. He's rooted basically. Slow down so much. He's practically rooted. And Seavark does get hit with an imprison, but I think he had an invis while imprisoned. Is that what happened? Or maybe PvP was just trying to reconnect towards the pillar. See if I get him some big damage, potentially the biggest burst possible. Try to see if he can maybe one-shot PvP. Touch of the magic is on him. Does he have missiles though? Trinkets, missiles while moving. Trying to get interrupted. Big burst of the PvP. Trying to go for the hunt. Does so. Oh my god, the touch of the magic becomes a slap of the magi as the boy just gets dribbled into the ground. with Leroy gonna be up next. From one Demon Hunter into the next. From one fiery Foul Kitchen into another. See if I can just gonna try to see if he can somehow deal with the fire. Not playing Frostbite should be able to gas out the flames. But he's just gonna have to see if he can potentially just play around him as an Arcane Mage would. Leroy trying to get super aggressive mobility, catching up to Seavark, trying to maximize the value of that hunt that he established on him. I think it looked like hunt didn't connect for a second, but I think at the end it did. I think it did. That's why Leroy is getting super aggressive, trying to stay aggressive with Seavark so you can get the benefits of that leech. Massive missiles around the corner with that touch of the magic. Does Seavark have enough pressure in order to get to Leroy in the bad spot? Trying to see if he can push him out from away from pillar. Gonna be Seavark using the ultra time in order to recover back in health. And Leroy getting hit with a Nova. As long as the Demon Hunter doesn't touch Seavark, Seavark will be in a good spot. Goes in for Invis with a poly blinking away, trying to get some damage and punishment onto Leroy. He did have a Battle Master Trinket that I think just fell off. So if Seavark can just get himself another setup, maybe a couple more missile procs, with the touch of the Magi, he may be in a fantastic spot. We'll just have to wait and see. Got himself full Metamorphosis. Maybe this way Seavark will sit down, get some food, wait out the meta, and then go in after the buzz from Leroy gone. As Leroy popped the blur just to make sure he's reduced the damage of those missiles behind the pillar. Seavark trying to catch up as much food as he can. No eyes back for the mage for a while, trying to set up a Ring of Frost in case Leroy wants to close the gap. And Seavark hoping to maybe sit down, get himself some food, trying to force Leroy in the corner, maybe try to hit him with a Dragon's Breath, maybe get a proper setup on him. Leroy is not at a lot of health available. Got himself a demon spawning in, could potentially slay it, is going to hold on to it for a while. Actually, holding on to the demon may not be a bad idea, especially if Seavark goes for Poly. Massive hunt. Oh, big hunt around the corner with a blade dance and got himself the demon soul in order to catch back up on healing. Man, that was such a close duel. I feel like Leroy was doing a really good job utilizing aggressive mobility in order to catch up to Seavark. I think that's exactly what he needed. But does he have a trinket though? Because if he doesn't have a trinket for Last Evoker, he could potentially be dead here. Stun into Last, got himself another demon spawning in. That's going to be Last Evoker trying to see if he can get himself some CC. Sleepwalk is going to get broken by the demon though. Sleepwalk is going to get broken by the demon. Last tried to go for a bit of recovery. Got him some big damage potential versus Leroy. I don't know if the Dragon Breath was able to connect though. Maybe was able to immune it or back up out of there completely. Lath is just gonna have to go for yet another reset. I guess Lath has to push up in case he wants to get some damage out versus Leroy. So that's gonna be in a perfect situation to get a Glaze Throw on him, get a bleed, and potentially proc another demon. Stun to Lath, perfect demon spawn right then and there. Big Soul Cleave, that's gonna be immunity for Lath. Just kind of froze himself in time, tried to see if he could back up out of there. Leroy tried to see if he could stay on him as best possible. Last tried to go for recovery, interrupted on the red spell, and does get cleaved down by the Demon Hunter. Got himself yet another demon, just gonna hold on to it until maybe like, if you hold on to the demon, getting hit by abilities like Polymorph, Fear, Sap, Blind, that demon is gonna start attacking you and does actual damage to you. That means any ability, any CC that breaks to damage will actually be able to break to damage properly. So hold on to the demon, especially if you got any CC that can break to damage, is not a bad idea. Instruct not even good on Shadow, blasting him out. Big hunt, big cleaves, just absolutely carving him out. As the boy got a massive drain versus Leroy. Does he just survive with his drain? Eye beam for the drain. That's going to be both of them casting each other. Drain soul, but not even good. Does go down as Leroy slays him, stealing his soul, using it in order to recover. He's not going to be up next, getting interrupted on nature. And that's going to be Leroy trying to carve out souls off of him, but I think it's going to be over. Tried his very, very best, but couldn't quite do it. That was just, he tried his very best at the end, but after going after Seavark, and then you fight Lath, and then you fight in a whole Warlock, going after a second Warlock of Yeast, man, there's only so much you can do. At some point, the future 7% dampening is going to catch up with you. Fear, by Yeast, got himself a wall, going to be a blood with a trinket, trying to see if he can potentially get himself a big setup, holding on to a bubble, so he's in a fantastic spot. Unless Yeast can just put some dots on him, rot him, you may just have to bubble here. Unless your wings may not be able to stabilize you. Blood, you may be in trouble. Blood, trying to see if he can fight it. Does he need to bubble? He may need to literally bubble or he dies here. He actually might just have to bubble. He literally bubbled. He's got this duels in such a good spot where he can just ride these boys down. He doesn't even need to be next to them. Literally just need to put dots on a Blood Necker and get out of there. Unless Blood Necker can potentially get a kill here, I think it's over. I don't know how you can win this. This is over. There's no way to survive it. It's done. Oh my god, yes. But here's the game is so high dampening. You just put dots on him and just AFK and they will melt. My goodness, chat. Well done, well done.